name's Jeremie Mize, president of Mid-South Technologies. We're here today in St. Louis with one of my clients, SCF Marine, a Seacor company, to discuss the FLIR cameras that we've installed on their tugboats. So I started the company approximately 10 years ago. Basically, my background was in IT. We started working with companies like Seacor and SCF Marine approximately 6 years ago. And probably to date, we've outfitted more than 60 to 70 vessels with different types of CCTV and recording solutions.
SCF started approximately 30 years ago, and we have 31 towboats and very diversified fleet of dry cargo, covered hopper barges, open hoppers, tank barges, 30,000 barrel unit tows and deck barges, fleeting operations, and international business in Argentina and Colombia.
Well, SCF Marine, being their Seacor company, they're very innovative. They tend to standardize things that they will put on one vessel across the entire fleet. So when they determined or decided to put the FLIR cameras aboard their vessels, it was a no-brainer that it was going to become something they did on every vessel.
One of the things with the FLIR camera that we had talked about is from our standpoint is situations where you lose visibility. Like we have a number of ways on boats to extend our lookout, whether it's radar or personnel and different things, searchlights, but nothing in certain conditions like shutout, fog, or rain or something in that respect. So we saw this as an opportunity to possibly give the guys another tool they can use to extend their lookout when they get in conditions like shutout fog or heavy rains where you're trying to find a safe place to hold up, but it came on suddenly.
You're kind of shoved into the bank. Oh, okay. They're coming down, so they just kind of push into the bank like that. We just try to stay up on the newest safety items.
We're on the Jenny K. It's an SCF Marine vessel, currently on dry dock.
We have exterior cameras for the vessel and also interior cameras for security and safety.
They just really wanted a way to be able to see things such as bridges and buoys, as well as the banks, as they typically like to bank themselves when they're waiting to go through locks and to dock the boats for offloading and loading the barges. We proposed the FLIR solution, and after doing a few trials, they determined that it was the best solution that they could see would fit the needs they had.
Man overboard immediately got my interest because, like I said, it's something that we have a zero defects on. We do not, we don't want anyone falling in the river. If that's your primary objective, is make sure they don't fall in the river. Then in cases where they do, then how do you respond quickly? The quicker you respond, the less likely they are to be injured. So that's key. We
feel like it's a good advantage to our employees. We feel like it makes them safer, their work environment safer, and we feel like it's a good advantage. It gives our captains or our wheelhouse people one more tool to use. You have your electronic charts, you have your radar, you have these other items, and this just gives them one more choice.
Also, though, from a navigation standpoint, there are times when visibility is limited suddenly, and I've been on boats before when that's happened, and you kind of have this little spot where you're kind of looking at your radar. You got a little bit of idea where you're at, but basically you're hoping your pilot is skilled, because that's the only thing that really gets you safely into the bank. But to have something like this, a tool that they can actually use to be able to see the bank. I know you'll probably show photos of actual occurrences, but it does a really good job at identifying bridges and bank lines and what have you. So it is useful for our wheelhouse personnel when they get in that kind of situation.
Safety is a big part of Seacor, whether it's in our annual reports, whether it's in our marketing brochures, letters from the chairman. Safety is typically going to be the first thing that is addressed, and so that was an easy choice. We knew we needed to do some things in safety to grow with the times of the towing side, and a lot of technology had come into the offshore business, and we used our offshore relationships and started looking at technology that we could bring into the inland river system. And we felt that it was important to have recording devices, cameras, man overboard devices, and then the last thing were the infrared cameras. And that was driven by some of the events that some of our other towing companies have realized, like pleasure vessels out in the middle of the river with no lights on and not being able to see the image out there. And so we decided it was the right thing to do. If you're a safety conscious company, you look at technology that can assist you to get to the next level.